Guys, I could stand up here literally for days and just brag on God and tell you miracle story after miracle story after miracle story. People have been saved that everyone thought they'll never find God, and marriages that were doomed have been fixed and healed, and addictions have been overcome, and people have been set free from all kinds of things. And we will go down memory lane a little bit today, but I just believe God's not done with us, church. I just believe he's got something more. I really do. In fact, I believe this verse right here, Jeremiah 29:11, still applies to every single one of us, every single one of you as individuals, as families, and all of us as a church family. And it's this: for I know the plans I have for you, declares the Lord. Plans to prosper you and not to harm you. Plans to give you a hope and a future. And I believe that verse still applies to our church 20 years in, more than it ever has. I just don't think our best days are behind us. I think our best days are in front of us, church. I think God has more. And so in tradition, what we do at this time every year, I usually give you a word that we're going to kind of focus on for the year. Our word for 2025 is that word I just said a few times, more. I just believe God's not done with us, and he's just got more in store for us. And this is the verse that we're going to focus on this year, Ephesians 3:20. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more. Come on, you guys are with it. Now to him who is able to do immeasurably more than all we ask or imagine, according to his power that is at work within us. You've heard us say it for the last few weeks in this Get Ready series. And what you didn't know is we were getting ready for more. And that's what we've been talking about on purpose for the last 3 weeks. And we keep saying, like, God's not done. God's got a plan. He's got something else, right? There's more around the corner. And we've just never believed it more than we do right now. And we've also said this: what we're not interested in 2025 is trying to figure out what we can do better this year. We'll always do the what can I get better at, but what we're really focusing on this year is what can God do? That verse we just read said it's according to his power that is at work within us, right? So this year we're going to go, not what can I, because there's things about my life that I can't stand. If I could have fixed them, I would have. I can't. I need his power this year, and so do you. So we're going to focus on his power and the fact that he promises us immeasurably more. And I just believe it. Go ahead and put some of those words up. I believe more for this church this year. More faith, more fight, more grit, more praise, more peace, more joy, more purpose, more intimacy with God, more freedom from anxiety, more freedom from depression, more confidence to walk in our calling, more people finding Jesus, more breakthrough, more life to the fullest. More miracles than we could ever ask, think, or imagine. That's where I think we're going, church. Now, there's two parts to this journal. My wife wrote an amazing letter in the beginning of it, and she's going to challenge you to start thanking God more than you do on autopilot. And then about halfway through it, I wrote a letter that's 1/20th as good as hers. And I'm going to challenge you in that part of the journal to start believing for more. And so those are the two things that we're trying to get you to start to focus on in this journal. But it's the two things I want us to start out for the rest of this year focusing on as a church family. I want us to be more thankful than we have been. Not that we're ungrateful, but we just on autopilot don't always focus on remembering what God has done. I want us to be more thankful, and then at the same time, I want us to start believing for immeasurably more, because that's what God promised us. And what you're going to see is those two things absolutely go together. As you hear me talk throughout this message, I'll keep referring to, I'm going to challenge you to get one of these and to write in both halves of it, not at different times of the year, at the same time, right? On the same day. Like today, I'm going to write, here's the things I'm thankful for, and I'm going to flip over a few pages, and I'm going to write, here's some crazy, miraculous, I'm almost scared to ask God prayers in the other part of it. Because we're going to be more thankful, but we're also going to believe that God can do more than we could ever ask, think, or imagine. Now give me the faith to write down some crazy prayers. Give me the faith to dream things that I'm afraid to ask you, that it feels like it's too big for you. God says, test me, kids. I am the God who does immeasurably more than all you could ask, think, or imagine. That's who our God is. So let me ask you, for your family, for your loved ones, what's the miracle you're praying for? What's the miracle you know you need, but you're scared to pray for it because you're afraid you might get your heart broke. Afraid you might get let down if God doesn't answer it the way you want to pray it. Maybe it's a financial thing. Maybe it's a relational thing. Maybe it's your marriage. Maybe it's a diagnosis. Maybe it's anxiety or depression or feeling a million miles from your dreams or just fear of what's going to happen next. Can I remind you, in all these things, you are more than a conqueror through him who loves you? That's Jesus' invitation. That's God's invitation to say, hey, look, step into the middle of this tough situation. Just keep taking steps of faith forward because I got you. And on the days it doesn't feel like I got you, remind yourself. Look back to that memorial you're building. Got you through that, get you through this.